In September 2023, the slot machines in Las Vegas went dark. Room keys stopped opening doors. ATMs on the casino floor flashed errors. Hotels checked guests in with pen and paper, and this went on for 10 days, inside some of the most surveilled, most security-obsessed buildings on Earth. MGM Resorts lost $100 million. And it all started with one phone call that lasted about 10 minutes. Nobody hacked a firewall. Nobody found a 0-day. The weapon was a voice. The group behind it, researchers call them Scattered Spider, did something any of us could technically do tomorrow. They went on LinkedIn. They found an MGM employee, read everything public about them, job title, team, history, until they knew enough to answer the kind of questions a help desk asks. Then they called the IT help desk, and they became that employee, locked out, frustrated, in a hurry. The help desk did what help desks are built to do. It helped. Password reset. Multi-factor reset. 10 minutes on the phone, and the attackers walked out with the keys to a privileged account. No malware yet. Not one line of code. Here's why one account was enough. Like most big companies, MGM used single sign-on, one identity system called Okta that opens everything. Email, admin panels, internal tools. It exists, so employees don't juggle 50 passwords. But it means identity is the whole wall. Reset one privileged login, and you don't get into a system. You get into all of them. Inside, they escalated, deeper levels of the identity system itself, and then they brought in a partner. Scattered Spider didn't write their own ransomware. They rented it from a gang called ALPHV, ransomware-as-a-service, the way you'd license software. With it, they encrypted more than 100 of MGM's virtualization servers. Those servers are the floor the whole company stands on. Encrypt them, and everything above just stops. Which is exactly what Las Vegas watched happen. Slots dark or cash only, digital room keys dead, staff handing out physical keys from behind desks. Websites down, booking apps down, casino restaurants running on paper. For 10 days. MGM refused to pay the ransom, took a $100 million hit to that quarter, and later admitted the attackers had also stolen customer records, names, birth dates, and for some older accounts, government ID and social security numbers. And here is where the story everyone shared gets more uncomfortable, because MGM wasn't the only casino that got that phone call. Days earlier, the same crew had hit Caesars Entertainment, the same social engineering playbook. You didn't see chaos at Caesars. No dead slot machines, no headlines. Because Caesars quietly paid, reportedly around $15 million, and kept operating. Two casino giants, the same attackers, the same week. One paid and disappeared from the news. One refused and became the story. Sit with how backwards that feels. Now, who was on the other end of the phone? Not a nation-state, not a shadowy army. Investigators traced Scattered Spider to an online community that calls itself the Com, mostly teenagers and young men, native English speakers, organized in Telegram and Discord channels, where they kept actual leaderboards, ranking each other by how much they'd stolen. The most feared social engineers on the planet were kids competing for a high score. The score didn't last. In Florida, investigators closed in on Noah Urban, 21 years old, tied to millions stolen through these exact techniques. He was sentenced to 10 years in federal prison and ordered to pay back $13 million. In Spain, police stopped a 24-year-old Scot named Tyler Buchanan as he tried to board a flight to Italy. Extradited to the United States, he pleaded guilty. Tens of thousands of phishing texts, SIM swap attacks, at least $8 million in stolen crypto. And he faces up to 22 years. As this video goes up, in August 2026, he's waiting to hear his sentence. This story isn't history. It's still ending right now. So what actually failed at MGM? First, the help desk is part of the security perimeter, arguably the most important part. MGM had strong authentication, and it didn't matter because the reset process was weaker than the thing it reset. If a stranger with a LinkedIn tab can pass your identity check, your multi-factor is theatre. The fix is boring and unglamorous, hard verification before any reset, callbacks to known numbers, manager sign-off, no exceptions for people who sound annoyed. Second, one login should never reach everything. Single sign-on is convenience, and convenience is connection. The account that reads email should not be able to touch the servers under the slot machines. Segmenting identity, admin accounts separated, privileges expiring, the blast radius of any one credential kept small, is the difference between a bad day and 10 of them. And third, the ransom question has no clean answer. Caesars paid and stayed invisible and funded the next attack. MGM refused, ate $100 million, and let insurance absorb it. Both choices are defensible. Both are terrible. Which is the real lesson. By the time you're choosing between ransom and ruin, every decision that mattered already happened. At a help desk, months earlier, in a 10-minute call. 60 seconds of this story is out there as a short, the version that ends when the slot machines die. Now you know who was on the phone and where they are today. If you want more true hacking stories told all the way to the end, subscribe. There's another one coming.